You just lost $4,000. Not in a crash, not in a breakdown on the side of the interstate. Just poof, gone. And the worst part? You probably don't even know it happened yet. Let me ask you something, and I want you to be honest. Have you ever bought a used truck, felt good about the deal, and then 6 months later started noticing little things that just didn't feel right? A clunk here, a flickering light there, maybe a weird vibration that only shows up at highway speeds. Go ahead and drop a comment right now. What's the weirdest thing your truck has ever done that no mechanic could explain? Because I promise you, by the end of this video, you're going to look at that problem completely differently. Here's the scary part. That $4,000 loss I mentioned? It's not from a blown engine or a transmission failure. It's from something so simple, so hidden, that most owners drive right past it for years. And every single day they drive, they're burning money without even knowing it. I'm talking about a mistake that happens before you even turn the key. The moment you fell in love with a truck at a dealer lot or on Facebook Marketplace, you probably made this error. And the manufacturers, they love it. They design these trucks knowing you'll make this mistake. In fact, some of them count on it. Let me take you back to a guy named Mike. Mike bought a beautiful 3-year-old diesel. Clean Carfax, one owner, looked like it just rolled off the showroom floor. He did everything right, had a mechanic look at it, checked the oil, drove it around the block, paid 38 grand cash. And within 8 months, he was looking at a repair bill for $11,000. The dealer shrugged. The manufacturer said, maintenance issue. But Mike knew something wasn't right. And when he finally dug into it, what he found made him sick. Because the truck wasn't broken. It was designed to fail, and that's the part they don't tell you. Now, before I tell you exactly what killed Mike's truck, I need you to understand something about how modern trucks think. These aren't your grandpa's F-150s or old Dodge Rams with mechanical everything. Today's trucks have more computers than the Apollo missions. They're constantly watching, learning, and, here's the kicker, making decisions that affect your wallet. But there's one computer in particular, one little black box that most owners have never even heard of, that is quietly deciding how long your truck will live. And the settings it comes with from the factory? They're not designed for you. They're designed for the EPA, for fuel economy ratings, for passing emissions tests that last 30 minutes, not for 10 years of hauling a boat or plowing snow. And it gets worse, way worse. Because once you understand what this computer is doing, you're going to realize that almost every maintenance-required light, every reduced power mode, every time your truck feels sluggish or shifts weird, it's not bad luck. It's the truck protecting itself from you, from the way you drive, from the fuel you buy, from the simple fact that you didn't know about a single hidden sensor that costs $80 to replace but $1,500 to access. That's the kind of math that makes grown men sell their trucks and buy a Honda Civic. So what's the mistake? It's not one thing. It's a chain reaction. And it starts the day you drive your truck off the lot without doing 3 specific things that 97% of buyers skip. The first one? Reading the oil life monitor. I know. You're rolling your eyes. But stay with me. That little percentage number on your dash? It's a lie. Not a little white lie. A full-blown class-action lawsuit lie. That monitor doesn't measure oil quality. It measures engine revolutions, temperature, and time. That's it. You could have the most expensive synthetic oil on the planet, or you could have sludge the consistency of peanut butter. The monitor treats them exactly the same. And here's where the money goes. When that monitor says you have 40% oil life left, most owners think they're safe. Meanwhile, direct injection engines are silently building up carbon on the valves like cholesterol in an artery. And by the time your oil life hits 10%, that carbon is already scoring your cylinder walls. You won't feel it today. You won't feel it next month. But 2 years from now, when your truck starts burning a quart every 1,000 miles, that's a $5,000 fix, all because you trusted a fake number on a screen. But that's just the appetizer. The real killer, the thing that's emptying bank accounts across the country right now, is something called thermal cycling on modern variable valve timing systems. Fancy name, simple disaster. Every time you start your truck cold and drive away before the oil temperature hits at least 100 degrees Fahrenheit, you are physically damaging metal components. Not maybe, not sometimes, every single time. The engineers know this. The manufacturers know this. They even put it in the owner's manual in tiny print that nobody reads. But do they design the trucks to prevent you from doing it? No. Do they put a big warning light on the dash that says, engine not ready? Absolutely not. Because if they did, you'd realize that most short trips, grocery store, school drop-off, coffee run, are actively killing your truck. And if you realized that, you might not buy a $70,000 heavy-duty pickup just to drive 2 miles to work every day. So they stay quiet, and you keep paying. Now here's where I need you to really pay attention, because this is the part that made me angry enough to make this entire video. There is a single bolt on most modern trucks, one bolt, that if it fails, totals the vehicle. Not because the truck isn't fixable, but because the bolt is located inside the engine block in a way that requires removing the entire cab from the frame to replace it. We're talking 20+ hours of labor at $150 an hour. And that bolt? It's made of powdered metal, not forged steel, not billet. Powdered metal, like a cheap IKEA furniture bracket. And it fails. Not if, when, usually right around 80,000 miles, usually right after your warranty expires. And there is no recall. There is no extended coverage. There is just you, a tow truck driver with a sympathetic look, and a service advisor sliding a piece of paper across the counter that says, estimated repair, $9,400. You want to know which trucks have that bolt? Which years? Which engines? That's exactly the kind of thing I cover for members of my private newsletter, because if I just put it out here for free, the manufacturers would have their lawyers calling me before the video hits 100,000 views. But I'll give you a hint. It's not the brand you think. It's not the one with the worst reputation. It's actually one of the most reliable names in the industry. And that's the sickest part of all. You pay a premium for that name. You tell your friends, I only buy that brand because they last. And they do last, right up until that powdered metal bolt shears off and sends a valve straight through a piston. But let me back up for a second, because I can feel some of you thinking, well, I lease. I trade in every 3 years. This doesn't apply to me. Oh, it applies to you more than anyone. Because guess what happens to that truck after you trade it in? It gets cleaned up, certified as inspected, and sold to someone like Mike. And that someone loses 11 grand because the previous owner, maybe you, didn't know about the hidden design flaw. So when you see a great deal on a 3-year-old truck with low miles, that's not a deal. That's a time bomb with leather seats and a backup camera. The previous owner got out just before the bolt failed. And now you're holding the bag. And it doesn't stop there. There's another mistake that's even more common, even more invisible, and it's costing truck owners an average of $3,000 a year in accelerated wear. I'm talking about tire pressure, but not the way you think. Everyone knows underinflated tires hurt fuel economy. But here's what the tire companies don't want you to know. Running the factory-recommended pressure for unloaded driving is actually destroying your suspension bushings, ball joints, and even your transmission mounts. Why? Because those pressures are chosen for ride comfort and noise reduction. They make the truck feel smooth on the test drive. But at those low pressures, your tires flex constantly, which sends harmonic vibrations through the entire chassis. Vibrations that feel like nothing to your butt, but to a rubber bushing holding your control arm in place. It's like taking a sledgehammer to it 20 times per second. 10,000 miles later, that bushing is cracked. 20,000, it's gone. And now your alignment is off, your tires are wearing unevenly, and you're blaming the road instead of the spec sheet. Here's a test for you. Go outside right now, or after this video, and look at your front tires. Run your hand across the tread. Does it feel slightly scalloped? Like little dips or waves across the surface? If yes, your bushings are already failing. And every mile you drive from this moment on is making it worse. But don't take my word for it. Go to any alignment shop and ask them how many trucks come in with worn-out control arm bushings before 50,000 miles. They'll laugh. Then they'll show you the stack of invoices. Then they'll quietly tell you that they make most of their money not on alignments, but on replacing the parts that bad factory specs destroyed. So what do? Do you sell your truck today? Do you park it and take the bus? No, but you do need to stop trusting the people who sold it to you. The dealer doesn't care if your truck lasts 100,000 miles. The manufacturer cares even less. They want you buying a new one every 5 years. The only person in this entire equation who has your back is you. And that starts with doing 3 things before you drive another mile. Number 1, ignore the oil life monitor. Change your oil every 5,000 miles if you run synthetic, every 3,000 if you run conventional. Full stop. I don't care what the dash says. I don't care what the dealer told you. I've seen the inside of engines that followed the monitor. They look like a fireplace chimney. I've seen engines changed every 5,000. They look brand new at 200,000 miles. The choice is yours. Number 2, warm up your truck. Not for 10 minutes idling in the driveway. That's actually bad for it. But don't start it and immediately hammer the gas. Give it at least 60 seconds for oil to reach the top end. Then drive gently, like there's an egg under the pedal, until the temperature gauge starts moving. That's not old school advice. That's metallurgy. Metal expands with heat. Your engine is designed to run at operating temperature. Every second it's cold, clearances are wrong, tolerances are off, and parts are touching that shouldn't be touching. You wouldn't run a marathon without stretching. Don't make your truck do it either. And number 3, and this is the one that'll save you the most money, learn where your major service intervals actually are, not the ones the dealer prints on that sticker. Timing belts, water pumps, transmission fluid, differential oil, transfer case fluid. Most owners never change these until something breaks. By then, the damage is done. A $400 transmission fluid change becomes a $6,000 transmission replacement. A $1,500 timing belt job becomes a $9,000 engine replacement. These aren't scams. These are physics. Parts wear, fluid degrades. And when you ignore time-based maintenance because it feels fine, you're gambling. And the house always wins. Before I let you go, I need to ask you something personal. How much money have you spent on your truck in the last 12 months that wasn't fuel or insurance? Be honest. Add it up in your head. Now think about how much of that was preventable. The tow bill because you ran out of DEF and the truck derated itself on a hill. Preventable. The alternator that died because you never cleaned the battery terminals. Preventable. The $4,000 repair that started this whole video? You already know. Preventable. And that's why I make these videos. Not to scare you. Not to make you angry. But to give you back control. Because every time you learn one of these hidden mistakes, you just saved yourself somewhere between $500 and $10,000. That's not a YouTube video. That's a second income. So here's what I want you to do right now. Smack that like button. Not for me, for yourself. Because every like tells YouTube that this information matters, that other truck owners need to see it, and that you're not going to let them keep driving blind. Then hit subscribe and turn on the notification bell. I put out a video like this every single week. One hidden mistake, one design flaw, one money-saving truth that the manufacturers hope you never find out. And if you're watching this 6 months from now, I want you to still be saving money. I want you to be the guy your friends call when their truck makes a weird noise. I want you to be the owner who never pays for a preventable repair again. Now get out there, check those tires, warm up that engine, and for the love of all that is holy, change your oil every 5,000 miles. I'll see you in the next video, where I'm going to show you the single most overpriced recommended service at every dealership in America. And trust me, once you see the numbers, you're going to be furious. Don't miss it.